I was gonna start off by saying, I haven't gotten up this early for anything exciting since Live Aid 1985.
Shit. I mean, uh,
Do you remember
I
Live
mean,
Aid? I
I
mean,
do. Yeah, I barely actually. Duran play that?
yes,
Yeah.
they played in Philly.
Oh man. Yeah, I was a big Duran fan.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, yeah, me too. Like the shit when those first records came out
yeah,
in the '80s, it was like, oh my God, who are these guys?
yeah, man. I when I was in, I think it was in kindergarten. Oh no, no, not kinder. It was like a daycare that I was going to after school while my mom was still at work, and I was too young to stay home alone, I guess, or something. But we would just like sit around and listen to cassettes,
Mm.
and one of them was Seventh and the Ragged Tiger,
Oh yeah,
and so like the Reflex was like that song like hooked me
yeah,
as a young one, and
sure.
I wanted to really bad. I wanted to like just I didn't know how to play any instruments or anything, but like I wanted to like do something. And so we did this like this sort of just like lip sync, me and a couple other friends, and like we put on a show for people, and it was
Nice,
great. Yeah,
nice.
it was at the preschool. So yeah,
Oh, the
yeah,
reflex is a lonely child.
yeah.
Yeah, actually, we're going to meander around, but I wanted to say about Live Aid because I'm collaborating with a friend of mine who does a channel called This Is Lars Land, and
Okay.
I suggested to Lars, hey, like the 40th anniversary of Live Aid just happened because I'm obsessed with Live Aid.
Oh, okay.
Like, because I remember when I saw it live as it was happening. Like like I
Wow.
said, I got up at whatever 6 a.m. to catch the opening, which was at 12 o'clock your time.
Hmm.
So, and it was like my first realization about, that, oh, like, other parts of the world, their time is different than ours. Because I'm
Right.
watching it live, like I see Bowie, and it's like the sky starting, or the sun is starting to go down, and I'm like, wait, and I'm looking out of my window, I'm like, but it's sunny right now. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
so just getting up this early made me think about, oh yeah, I remember getting up early to to watch Status Quo opening with Rock All Over the World, but
Okay.
but here I am getting up early, Rock All Over the World with you, Victor. Welcome to the Fireside Chat.
Wonderful. Glad we could do this.
Yeah, now Victor, you and we've known each other for a long time, and
Yes, we have.
you're one of my and this is Mittens, by the way. Yeah, so we've known each other for a long time. I feel like my musical journey kind of started with you guys. Well, and my friend, if you remember our old friend Martin Layfelt, who
Oh,
says
totally.
who
Yeah.
says hello, by the way.
Oh, you still talk to him? Wow.
I just reconnected with him like I don't know, 4 5 months ago.
Amazing. Wow.
And he actually he asked me to ask you about something, but before I
Okay.
asked that, I just wanted to ask you, and I
Yeah.
ask all my guests on the show is what are your first memories of us meeting?
Oh yeah, yeah. I was. It was funny. I was like thinking about that yesterday, um, and it and I wasn't thinking of funny a couple funny stories, but like the first time we met, I think actually I went to the Chicago Bagel and Bailey's
Hmm.
restaurant,
Oh
you know,
yeah.
place. Yeah. So I went there one day to get a bagel and noticed that next door there was a record store,
Hmm.
and so Hip Cat Records, and at the time I was massive, like massive Iron Maiden fan,
Yeah.
and just like I still love them and everything. But like I was like at the time I wanted to get as close to that as possible in some
Yeah.
way, and
Yeah.
and learn everything about it. And so I walked in there and I saw, I think I saw you working there, um, and but I noticed a bunch of videos, like VHS videos, live videos of them, and of their music videos,
Mm.
and I think you played one of them for me that I hadn't seen before,
Okay.
and so we were like watching Iron Maiden, and it was the coolest thing, that I was like watching this and just hanging out,
Yeah.
and I think I spent like 45 minutes or an hour. We watched maybe we might have watched the whole thing, and then like 2 days later, I came back and I was like, "Hey man, like you want to watch some Iron Maiden videos?" And like he put some on for me, and Jim, I think Jim was working there, and then
Yeah.
what's the other dude's name?
Oh, Mike.
Mike. Yeah, Mike. Yeah, he was.
Hey.
I was a little like, yeah, I
Hey,
was.
how's it going? Hey. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like permanently stoned,
Oh my
but
God.
he was, or at least he acted like it. But he was super cool. But like I just totally different vibe when like he was there,
Yeah.
as opposed to like when you were there or when Jim was there.
Yeah.
But it was yeah, it was great.
All right, so we're on the corner of Dundee and Schoenbeck, and I'm going to move the camera over here, but right over here, where my hand is where the Chicago Bagel and Bialy restaurant used to be. Um, Now, as you can see, this is all Walgreens, but back in 1987, there was a strip mall in the back, a little mini strip mall that had like a pet store. And then right at the end of the building where the Walgreens sign is where the record store I used to work at, Hip Cat Records, was. And next to it was a dry cleaner. So,
And then I remember soon after that, we just like I kept seeing you just
Yeah.
going in there all the time, and then soon after, like um, I don't know, man, we were like going to the library and stuff, like hanging out,
Yes.
and we'd go to the library, and like you actually like turned me on to the library, which was
Okay.
cool back then,
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah, so that was a really healthy habit that you got me involved in. And then soon after, you turned me on to cigarettes.
And then I turned.
Uh,
Did I turn you on to cigarettes? Is that
you
the?
turned me on to
Oh
cigarettes.
no,
Yes,
I'm sorry.
you gave me my first Marlboro
Oh,
at lunch.
sorry.
I remember,
Kids don't smoke. But
and
yeah,
I threw up like right afterwards,
that's right. That's
and then
right.
it was like the next day, like we were like I think you were like like you want to go in on a pack of cigarettes or something.
Oh my
But yeah,
God.
sure, that sounds great, and yeah, it was pretty funny, but
Healthy habits there. Oh my God.
yeah.
so this is Indian Trails Library in Wheeling, Illinois. This is the library that Victor and I used to go and hang out. It has gone through some changes over the years. It used to be much smaller. I think that side was not even there. It was probably like from that end to here. And where Victor said I offered him his first cigarette, I'm thinking was over here. I'm still a little bit debate about that, to be honest with you. I'm thinking it was somebody else, but whatever.
Yeah, but I definitely remember hanging out a lot and like
Yeah.
Lush. I slept over one like weekend or whatever, and we listened to music all night,
Mm-hmm.
and you played Lush. I'll never forget. That was the first time I heard it,
Hmm.
and you put it on like it must have been on repeat, and we you just like shut the lights off. We went to bed, and it was like yeah, I and it was weird because you were living in the basement,
Yeah, yeah.
Cedar Run, right?
Lakeside Villas.
Lakeside Villas, yeah.
Yeah.
So we were in total pitch black darkness, and like
Mm-hmm.
you have no idea like if it's day or night or anything when you shut the lights off. And
Yeah.
like it was still playing,
Yeah.
all night long. So it was like it was just I woke up, my body clock woke me up, and it was still playing, and it was totally pitch black the way it was when we went to bed. So yeah.
I remember that night. Yeah, because we were up all night and we were like talking. I mean, as you know, I think that was one thing you and I, Victor, always had a good time with. Is just like we would have these like epic conversations, about whatever it
Oh,
was,
totally.
between two young boys, and just like yeah, trying to figure shit out and figure out life and
Right.
and my yeah, and it's funny because my parents still live at that place.
Oh wow.
So,
Awesome.
so like when my niece comes, she always likes to go. She's like, "This is where your bedroom used to be." I'm like, "Yeah, this is."
Oh man. What's down there now?
So right now, my drum set is down there.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So we've been trying to turn the basement into like our like creative spot. So like my dad, who he does paintings, so he's got like all of his canvases and paints and all this stuff that he's been working on in one room, and then my drums and stuff are in that what used to be the bedroom.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I chose to be in that room was because so there was another bedroom that I was in, but
Hmm.
it was close to where my folks slept, and also there was no like for some reason what was it, the air conditioning, the heat didn't work.
Oh,
So
okay.
so like in the room upstairs, it was cold in the winter, hot in the summer. I mean, it was just unbearable.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? I want to take the room down in the basement, and yeah, like it's definitely like a kind of vampire type deal where you don't barely see.
Yeah, yeah.
When I was kind of in your presence on a regular basis was when you were in Toe Jam.
Oh man. Yeah.
So because so my first job was yeah Hip Cat Records. I think I was about a year in when I met
Hmm.
Tim, when finally got to meet Tim and then Jeff Gross.
Yeah.
And I remember them because they would come in quite a bit and buy tapes and stuff, and then I think it was Tim who was like who kind of like approached me. He's like, hey, I'm in a band called Toe Jam. You want to come check us out and practice when we practice? Like at first I'm like, whoa, that is quite an invite, and I'm like, yeah, I want to check you guys out because at that point I just I'd gotten into punk rock, was starting to learn like just whatever like wanting to find like my people, like because
Sure.
at that point I'm like all the bands that I just started to get into had all broken up or members had died, and I'm like, there's got to be a scene there for me, and then yeah. Tim and Jeff showed up and they're like, "Hey, come on over." And I think that's when I finally saw you. It was at a toe jam practice. But
Okay.
so yeah, that's my origins.
See, see, you saw me at my best. Playing one fast E chord for every
Hmm.
song. That's awesome.
So was that? I guess that's one of the questions I was going to ask you because obviously this is a show about friendships and memories, but so
Yeah.
would you say the Duran Duran was kind of like your first hearing them was kind of like what inspired you to play, or what made you want to like, or what made you interested in music and wanting to like express yourself with music?
Um, yeah, I think actually, I mean, it even goes further back than that. Like when when I was maybe like years before that, I would go to my dad's side of the family, my grandma's house in Wheeling, and um, I remember like just like I'd stay there all day while my mom was at work, and my grandma would just sort of like you know like babysit me or whatever, and so I'd hang out there, and every day at like three, I think it was like 3 o'clock, Happy Days would come on, you
Mm.
know, and
Hmm.
so I used to fucking love that song, like that opening song. Uh, it
Monday,
was
Monday, happy
Happy
days.
Days,
Yeah.
Tuesday, yeah. And so I became so like so like obsessed with it, that
Okay.
like my uncle upstairs, one of my uncles, he actually I found that he had the vinyl uh of it was like the soundtrack of it.
Oh,
And
okay. Yeah.
yeah, and so it it was like my favorite thing to listen to when the show wasn't on. And it just had this massive picture. The artwork was like this massive picture of Henry Winkler, like, like just looking cool, like
Oh, I have
close up
that.
on his close up on his face. Oh,
I
I don't remember what else was on it other than the opening theme song, but I used to listen to that whole record when I was a kid, and that I used to like dance, like
oh,
for family and stuff, and when it would come on, and I would sing, and dance and stuff, and um, that was probably my favorite thing back then.
I think I have that record, or I definitely I know exactly that record. And then my favorite was the track that was called the I think it was the Fonz impersonation track, where you could kind of like had like in a loop like all the lines that the Fonz would say, so you could get your impression to
Oh,
like sit on
yeah,
it, cool it,
yeah, 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 yeah.
hey, sit on it.
I think I think that's where, yeah, because like all my uncles would always like just like say his like popular catchphrases,
Yeah.
and then they would like say it to me to try to get me to say it,
Oh,
and
that's funny.
so I
Yeah.
think that's probably where it came from, like just like what it was, just like a vocal track of him
Yeah.
like
Nerd.
sit on it. Oh,
Hey.
hey, hey,
See,
yeah.
I mean that track that served us well. We could do a decent Fonz. It's like
Oh man,
so
that's
that
awesome.
no, that's cool. Yeah, that's so that was that kind of like you're like, oh, music. This is or just the yeah, because I think yeah, sometimes like even like something as like obnoxious as that is just like, oh, this is interesting. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then it just like went from there. It went from like that and to like Duran Duran. That was like my favorite band. And then after that, it was like Van Halen, old Van Halen,
hmm.
old Van Halen. It's all old, but like
We're talking
it
not Van Hagar. We're talking Van
not
Halen.
Van Hagar, right, right, yeah. So the album, with Running with the Devil, and
Hmm.
like, that album was like I listened to that on repeat all the time. I had that cassette, listen to that, and then I went from that to like um, my neighbor or my uncle turned me on to Iron Maiden. I was like in
Mm.
fifth grade, so I was listening to like Live After Death, like in
Oh
fifth
yeah,
grade. That was like my favorite album. And then that went to like Ozzy, and I got into Randy,
yeah,
and that's what made me want to play guitar.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you came out about it from like a metal stamp, which is interesting because yeah, like I mean, I wouldn't really necessarily call you a punk rocker, but obviously
Mm.
you're in the circle. You've been in the punk circle, quote unquote. But you always had like a kind of metal. Would you say you have always had a metal sensibility, or at least I don't know?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I think so. I think, yeah, just like that's what moves me, or that's what kind of like that's the direction I would always like feel comfortable in,
sure.
but like when writing or working with other people, but like but I always thought it was challenging and interesting to like to try to like um you know uh challenge that approach and like
Hmm.
try to like make it something like start there and then make it something totally different.
Yeah. By that time, that's your yeah. When did you start like? How old were you when you started playing guitar?
uh First, so I actually started playing my I was I think I was 12. Yeah, I was 12 when I first started playing guitar.
Oh, okay.
um yeah, my first instrument was the organ.
Hmm.
We had a triple decker organ that was dumped dumped off on us like from my grandma. Or it was like it was at my grandma's house, but it was
Yeah.
this like really nice, like one of them. But like one of the like triple deckers that you would see was a Yamaha that you would see like at a roller rink.
I think
Um,
was that at your mom's place in Wheeling?
yeah, we did
I
move it.
do remember that thing.
Yeah,
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 shit. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, it was like a yeah, it was like a oh, yeah, kind of like a almost like a Wurlitzer, but it was a Yamaha, right?
I love that thing. My aunt originally, it was hers. She took lessons and everything, and learned how to play it, and then stopped playing. And then my grandma, it just sat at my grandma's house, and so we took it, and I started playing and taking lessons, and then I went into elementary school and saw how cool it looked. My friend played the saxophone in the school band, and he was like, it was like this like really swingy song. It was called Sink or Swing. And like
Hmm.
they were playing it and they were all wearing sunglasses. It was like a recital thing that I saw.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that is the coolest fucking thing, man. I wish I was doing that. And so
Yeah.
I convinced my mom to buy me a saxophone, an alto sax, and I
Oh,
and I did that for fifth grade. And it was awesome. I got to play Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer,
nice.
and it made me feel cool. And then I moved to Wheeling, and then in Wheeling I tried playing sax at Field Elementary
Hmm.
School in sixth grade, and the band just wasn't like as they weren't at the same level as the one in in Arlington Heights that in
Okay.
fifth grade. It was like they were like doing stuff that the fourth graders were doing in fifth grade in Arlington Heights,
Oh,
so like, and yeah, so like I was just like, this is like not really doing it, it's just not challenging at all, or like
yeah.
I'm not like getting any better. And so I that was when I stopped and started. I was like, I want to play something, and I visited the music shop in Wheeling,
The
and
old
that's when
shoppy. Yeah.
picked up a guitar.
Yeah.
The Igniter.
Oh
That's what
yes,
the first guitar.
of
Remember
course,
that fucking
of
thing?
course. I remember the Ignite. Well, and I remember. So when we reconnected a few years back, I remember you telling me about the guy who gave you lessons. Can you tell me a little bit about him again? I just to remind me.
Okay, so originally I started taking lessons at the music shop from this guy, Bob. He was
Mm,
like a rock guitar player, and he's like, it was perfect because the Igniter was an electric guitar. It was the cheapest electric guitar you could buy for, and in the shop, and I got like the cheapest amp, the cheapest cable,
Yeah.
and so it was like total starter, package.
Sure.
And then I started playing, and he taught me how to play Crazy Train.
Mm.
So I was so stoked. And then I think I took lessons with him for about 3 weeks, and I was just starting to like get into like how to use the distortion on the amp and stuff.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they swapped teachers on me, and this guy Matt shows up, and he's like this like classically trained like virtuoso, that
Yeah.
that just like came in out of nowhere, and I showed up for a lesson, and he's like, so see you got an electric guitar, was that what you were wanting to learn? And like he's like, because I could rock out, man, and like he just he had his
I
classical
could.
guitar, and he'd be like, let me grab my pick, and then and so he'd start like, you know, playing like these like really heavy chords on the nylon string, and soon after that, I mean, I had always like wanted to learn D by Randy Rhoads,
Oh yeah.
So I was just like, well, I think this can maybe work. Like, can you teach me D? And like he's like, oh yeah, and he just whips it out, and I'm like, holy shit, like, and so I learned D. Ended up buying a steel string acoustic, and
Mm.
um, and then after that, like I just saw how cool it was that he had a nylon string,
Mm.
and so I bought one of those, and then I learned it was called Petite Etude by Rick Emmett from Rush,
Okay.
and that was like, yeah, that was like my that was my like first full
Yeah.
like classical or only full classical song that I learned.
Okay.
Yeah.
So wait, Rick Emmett. I think isn't he in? No, I think he's in another band, another Canadian band. Was it Triumph? Or
That was it. Yeah, not Rush.
yeah, yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. No, that's cool.
Yeah, my
I don't
bad.
want to. I don't want to
Yeah.
upset. I don't
No,
want to upset
no,
the Rush fans out there. Be like,
no, no, no.
no.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I got it wrong. But
The other
yeah,
Canadian band.
it was Triumph, and I loved that song. My uncle was able to play it, and I was like, oh, I wish I could play that. Always wanted to, and then I finally was able to play that. But Matt Steiner,
Yeah.
like just like he was pretty much like, I thank him for riding it out with me as long as he did, because um I I took lessons with him for maybe about 7 months or almost a year,
Yeah.
until until it was like obvious that it was like too obvious that I was not retaining anything that he was teaching me. I was just like really good at faking it,
Yeah.
and so like, he eventually, like, the last, I'll never forget, it was like I showed up to practice. He's like, so did you practice? And I was like, a bit, and then like I started playing, and he just stopped like midway. He'd be like, man, did you practice? And then eventually, like, after that lesson, I'll never forget. He was like, "Oh, Mr. Gonzalez, my stepdad."
Mm.
At the time, he's like, "Mr. Gonzalez, I can't take your money. Like, honestly, like, I can't take your money anymore. Your son is not learning what I'm teaching him the way I'm trying to
Oh.
teach it. He's playing the stuff, but
Yeah.
like he's not actually reading music. So
Uh,
so yeah, but it it worked out, I guess, because like then eventually, I did learn a lot from him. I just from trying to emulate what he was doing,
Yeah.
which was cool.
Yeah.
But it was a different way of learning.
Yeah. And then was that around the time that you hooked up with Toe Jam and all those boys, or what was the
Yeah, yeah.
overlapping?
It was like it was soon after that. Soon after that, I was skating all the time, and like um, and so I would skate this like one stair. It was at Jack London,
Okay.
and with the school across from Eugene Field, and so I'd go there and just like kickflip that one stair all the time. And I was there, and noticed there was a new random guy like rolling on a skateboard, and he was waiting for a friend. He's like, "Oh, I'm waiting for a friend. I don't think she's showing up." And like, I'm like, "Oh, who's your friend?" He's like, "Dana O'Brien." And I knew Dana O'Brien from Holmes Junior High,
Okay.
and he's like, "I don't think she's gonna show up." And then he did pulled the same shit with me, where he's like, "Hey, I." Or like I was like, "What's that on your shirt?" He's like, "Oh, it's my band. Do you want to like come over?" Like,
Yeah.
we're called Toe Jam or whatever.
Oh,
It
okay.
was it was great, And he had like it was like permanent marker. It was like a toe, or like a foot, and
Right.
like said Toe Jam on it,
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, you're in a band." I was like, "Wow, that's fucking cool."
Right. Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, why don't you come on over?" And so like we just ended up walking over to his house, and yeah, talking. I told him I played because I told him I play guitar, and yeah, and the rest was like history. I just like I played a couple things for him and Mike or whatever, and then I was like, "Oh, can I be in your band?" I felt like I was like auditioning or something.
Right.
And Tim's just like, "Oh no, I don't think like I think we're totally different than or we're like different, or he said something like you're too good to be in the band or something, and uh and I'm like, oh, that's like I was thinking, what a fucking bummer. Like, how can I be too like I want to be in the band. I just want to play
Yeah.
with some other musicians, and then he let me come, and I played. I just like played, and then they were just like, if you could just play like a really fast like E chord or
Hmm.
something,
Yeah.
and that was like the like if I didn't know what to do for a song or whatever, it was like that was me learning all the songs with just playing a fast E chord as fast as I could.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah. I mean, the first time I saw you guys practice in the Kinsella basement, and it was you, Jim Wendler, Tim, and Jeff Gross on bass, and Jim Wendler, folks, was a wrestler who had the most like beat up fucking drum set I'd ever seen. Like it was like duct tape upon duct tape.
at a garage sale or something, it was like, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I think the thing that was holding the kick drum was like this. It was almost like a duct tape rope is the only way I could describe it. That just like that wrapped around the pole
Yeah, yeah.
and but it was like yeah, and I'm like, what? This is amazing.
So this is the first time I've been down this path in such a long time, probably just over 30 years, but so this was where I would walk from the Hip Cat Records and go and meet up at the Kinsella's house. And it was this pathway, as you can see. There's like a dead end over there, and then you just walk down this way to this cul-de-sac place, and right over where my finger is where the Kinsellas used to live. Pretty cool.
And then I think I saw. Well, I want to ask about your first show, but the first time I saw Toe Jam live was at this church up the street over on Schoenbeck with I was trying to remember. It was Tim Jones's band, Social
Oh,
Disturbance.
oh, Social Disturbance. That was okay. B,
So
where was the the following band after they broke up? I
yeah,
think.
and that was I remember seeing that. I was like, wow, this is. I mean, it just the only way I can describe it is it was a real like this is a real band I'm looking at right now. Like just
Okay.
seeing it from the basement on stage with lights because there was like really like trippy lights
Yeah.
set up, and I'm just like, wow, this is like going to see I don't know, going to see a band at the Riv or the Aragon. It's just like this is so. But do you remember your the first show you ever performed? Was that with Toe Jam or?
Yeah, yeah. That was the actual first show.
So right across the street from Indian Trails Library is Our Savior Evangelical Church, where Toe Jam, the band that begat Captain Jazz, played their first show.
Um, First like performance was like in the little theater at Wheeling High School.
Okay.
But I just can't remember if the show came first, the church show, but I can't remember if because we used to do basement shows all the time, I think,
Yeah.
so I can't remember if we did like a basement show and then it was like, all right, we're moving up in the world, we're playing this church, and so like and like or if it was like the church was first and then the basement was like
Sure.
we
Yeah.
want to keep this going.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was yeah, that was hilarious. There was this dude Wade. Do you remember Wade?
Uh,
He was like the like overseer of everything, but he was like dressed like he had a leather jacket and like a bandana, and he was
yes.
like like guys, like he would like stop the mosh and he'd be like, guys, make sure you mosh safe, or like total harm reduction
Right. Right.
spokesperson of the mosh pit. Yeah, so like it was yeah, that was Wade, but
Was he?
yeah,
Because there was a guy. I wonder if that's him. Who he would be in the mosh. He would be in the mosh circle, and
yeah,
like he was a little bit more aggressive than some of us youngins, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong, but
yeah.
I do remember
He was
what.
like 25 and we were what, like
Yes.
16 or
Yeah, and he
yeah,
was.
he was older.
Yeah, he kind of looked like a narc. If I remember.
Yeah, he did. He did like a total undercover. Yeah.
Yo, what's up, man?
Hey,
How you doing?
you got any flour?
Flour? No, nothing like that.
I heard through the grapevine you had the good flour.
No, nothing with THC. Can I help you with anything else though?
No, I need some flour though. You keep saying you don't have it, but I heard through the grapevine you have it.
Who told you that?
One of your buddies.
One of my buddies.
One of your good customers.
They obviously not my buddies if they told you
Well,
that.
I heard you had it.
All right, so some flour, you said?
Some flour.
I got you. I got this right here. It's Nancy Jane all-purpose flour. But that's all I got for you.
What the fuck am I supposed to do with this?
I don't know, but
Besides make hush puppies.
I don't know, but that's if you don't need that.
Hey man, fuck this place.
Fuck you. Don't come back, bro. Just keep going. Just leave, officer. Have a good day. Please exit the building. Please exit the building. Please keep going. What the fuck was that, Dylan?
Oh my god.
That was hilarious.
But yeah, I mean that's So yeah, it's interesting that the first as far as like in because obviously we all lived in Wheeling, and something that you said earlier about when you were in Arlington Heights and learning music there, or playing sax, and you guys are a little bit more advanced in the Wheeling set. Did you ever feel like that about Wheeling? Like that it was always kind of like, I don't know, like the redheaded stepchild of the suburbs.
That's yeah, no, I mean it was like stories about like how like things in Wheeling High School and like
Yeah.
how it was gonna be, it might be a little rough, going there. Because I originally wanted to go to MacArthur because what's MacArthur? MacArthur was the junior high after elementary school that I was
Yeah.
in Arlington Heights. but we moved to Wheeling, and so I went to Holmes, and then people in the people. There were a couple people that were in Holmes that I knew because they were living on the border of like Arlington Heights and Wheeling or something. And so they got they went to Holmes and then Wheeling High School. But yeah, I would have always heard stories about the gangs and stuff, but it wasn't. It wasn't like you had to like watch your back, but like it was like it was weird though. Like there were I do remember a couple like times in the foyer where like the gang rivals would just like have an all out like brawl, and like at lunch, or like they would just it was there were a couple times like that, but you just stay out of it.
Sure. Well, that actually brings me up to what Martin had asked me to ask you about and see if you have any memories of this. So he's like, Martin says hello, and he's like, ask him about the Wheeling High School gig freshman year, the band, and what he remembers. It was in the Commons foyer area, Wheeling High School, for everyone, for those who don't know, there was this huge like foyer, kind of like a study quad, where students would go sit down and just and I do remember occasionally there would be like little pop-up shows in there or some kind of like, but do you have any memories of what Martin was talking about?
Oh man, I feel like I don't really remember it, but like I vaguely remember doing something. Did he say it was with him?
I don't know if it was, so I don't think it was him, because I asked him, I'm like, have you ever done any like battle of the bands or talent shows? And he never did, even though he was like a phenomenally talented musician.
It was amazing. There was a band called there were Barry, what was that? The singer's name was Barry. He had that mullet. Do you remember him?
Vaguely,
Barry. Oh man, they were 80s like 80s rock band, and they did it really good.
I wonder if that's the band. I wonder if that's the band with the guitarist that had a wireless.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he was a shredder.
Sure,
I remember, but like it was like they were doing like Poison covers. And
oh my God, what were they called?
Shoot. Oh,
fair warning. I think
it's something like that.
Yeah.
It was like it was like not No Doubt.
Yeah.
They were called No Doubt.
yeah. They played at Wheeling. See, there was cool stuff happening in Wheeling or whatever, but
the name I'll say it, but I remember them like I remember them very clearly in the foyer. And they would go all out, man. Like just like he had like the bandana tied to the microphone stand. Like Steven Tyler, and it was fun.
I mean, it's like so I guess kind of like when I started to
Ready or Not.
Okay. I'll have to ask Martin if he remembers Ready or Not. Good one there. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, because I've talked to Mr. Mark Maxwell, which he's been on the channel, and one of the things that he was really like, starting to kind of, or he's been realizing this more and more over the years, is how like, just how fertile creatively Wheeling was when we were gracing the hallways, and I mean, did you ever pick up on any of that when it was happening, or were you just kind of living for the moment? Like,
I mean, I am so like I am so grateful. Like now, looking as a 50-year-old man, looking back on our, just like those times and growing up in Wheeling High School, like we were like, we really, we were in a like prime position for like kind of like Mr. Maxwell said, you know, just
Yeah.
like for just like developing this new, like, it was so encouraged. It felt like it was so encouraged to just like take that and like really like take whatever it is in your imagination and go with it, you know.
Yeah.
Like especially, I mean, I would spend, to give you an example, I would spend, I was never the best like at going to class back then, but in like on a positive note, like I would sit in the sculpture room and draw all day, you know,
Yeah.
like, and Mr. Brush would, you know, he'd catch me in there and he'd be like, "What are you doing in here?" You know, I'd be like, "Oh, like, you know, I'm working on this project or like, you know,
Yeah.
for your class, for our class." And it would be something. And he'd be like, and I'd be like, you know, he'd be like, "Well, I guess you could stay, you know, like, as long as you're working on something, you know." And
Yeah.
so that was kind of like my go-to place, just like sitting there and listening to music in the
Yeah.
sculpture room, like,
Yeah.
you know,
I can picture it right now, actually. Like that room was so, because yeah, I had a class with Mr. Bosch, I think sophomore year, and just yeah, you guys were in there a lot. I mean, there was that little boom box. You could bring tapes, and just
yeah,
it was like our safe place there. Yeah,
yeah, and it was a safe place. And then, like, you know, it was cool because you know, there was just like music, you know, with Toe Jam happening, and then
yeah,
like the art, you know, happening. So like I felt like my mind was like just like stimulated in all these areas. And you know, I just yeah, like every person that I was friends with, it seems like, or the majority, a major percentage of them, all like took their creativity, you know, and developed it into something bigger, you know.
sure.
Yeah, but yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah. How did you feel about it? Was that similar to like what you felt?
I mean, I definitely knew that there was something special happening. You know,
Yeah.
it was kind of like, yeah, there was a couple moments. One in particular I remember is when you guys played one of those Battle of the Bands at the, well, you did actually, there was the Battle of the Bands you guys played, but there was also that, if you remember, you had a residency. It was like a lunchtime residency at the Little Theater
Oh yeah,
where you
yeah.
guys,
That's right.
yeah, you guys played like pretty much all, I think it was like, yeah, you guys played almost like a 3 hour set because it was like during all the lunch breaks.
Yeah. Was it at Cap and Jazz, or was it?
Yeah, it was Cap and
oh,
Jazz.
It was Cap and Jazz. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Because I think by the time I started wheeling, I think the Toe Jam was slowly coming to an end. I think you still had like another year in the tank, I guess, left before
yeah.
before that shift. Which, you know, obviously that's something I'm always curious about. But yeah, I remember when you guys did that like lunchtime residency, and it was like, whoa, this is cool. And then so there was that, but there was there was a Battle of the Bands you guys played. And I'm just standing there, and I'm just like, wow, like this is all I can think of, like, this is our moment right now. This is us, man. This is our moment. You know, that's
Like the Goonies.
yeah. This is our time.
Down here, it's it's our time. It's our time down here.
And yeah, I mean,
Okay.
there was a lot of those kind of things that I was kind of picking up during that time because, because when I started wheeling, I mean, I'll be honest, like I was kind of like you're like, uh-oh, like I'm going to have to deal with like bullies or gangs,
Yeah, for sure.
So, but then I think that year, like the summer before I started high school, that's how I met Tim and you, and then of course Alan Cooper.
Yeah.
Shout out to you wherever
yeah.
you are, because he lived right up the street from me,
Yeah.
and so like I already started to have like a group of upper class folks or whatever you want to call it, like So I already kind of knew, like, okay, I got at least I have a little bit of a clique of people that know me, so I'll be cool. So, which I was, yeah. That first year was like, yeah, I'm like, holy cow, like this is what high school life is, and then meeting other people like that were like older than us who were like who would go to shows in the city, like Josh Barron, if you remember him.
Oh right. Oh, totally. Yeah,
Going
those
to-
guys. I mean, yeah, Josh. I mean, Alan Cooper. Say yeah, Alan Cooper like really unlocked like this mental I guess gate that I had. It's in terms of like art like drawing and like
Yeah,
and just doing artwork and stuff. I mean, he like showed me how to do it, and how to like let yourself just do like whatever. There was no like wrong answers, So
Yeah,
it was awesome. Remember his room? His room was like
Oh my God.
it was like an amusement park for people on LSD. I mean, all you had to do was sit in the middle of the room and look any direction.
Yeah.
And like there was just shit all over the walls. Like I mean, like you could write anywhere on the wall.
Yeah.
You wanted, and like he'd have like marionettes, like
Yeah.
that he painted on and made, like made into like really scary, like strange looking things. And I mean, it was Christmas lights and the Moody Blues, and it was amazing. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, no, that I think you just kind of pointed something out. I think when you were saying about like Alan kind of like showing you about art, I think that's kind of where the fearlessness came from, because that's something I think all of us have in common, is we had this kind of sense of fearlessness about whatever it is we're doing.
Yeah.
And I think being in that bedroom of his and Alan's, writing on the walls, like just the chaos, but it was, and we all just crammed into that room, which is crazy. Like,
Oh yeah.
and we would just go
Yeah,
in.
his parents hated it, but like
my
he
God.
just like, I know. Yeah, it was great though.
So, but no, I think that's kind of where that came from, where like, whether we know it, or not, I think that's where the fearlessness, because, I don't know where that came from for me. I just, I guess for me, it was just like being a brown guy in the suburbs, kind of already kind of like a minority in a pretty, I mean, at that point, at that time, it seemed like there was just more, there wasn't a lot of diversity.
Yeah.
And I'm coming from the city too, where it's like, the UN out there, it's just like people from all over the world. But so I don't know. I just kind of felt that. Wow. Okay. Yeah. You haven't thought about that room in a long time. So. But yeah.
Between like Alan, Alan's, I think it was cool because, like you said, the word fearlessness, and I think, as much as like I've had my like, hang-ups about like Tim in the past, and like we've had our ups and downs, I should say,
Sure.
just intention,
Yeah.
I mean that dude has like if it wasn't for him, I don't think like I would be like where I'm at today, like just like musically. So,
Yeah.
and that same happened with art later, with
Yeah.
Alan.
Yeah. And I mean, would you say like your friendship with Tim and those guys, this is probably the longest friendships you've had. I mean, of course, press and company included as well. Like, I mean, that's no, I mean, I was talking to Tim on New Year's. We were at his house, and I was just saying how like, oh, I'm just glad that well, first off, like, I'm really glad that that we're talking right now. I know it's you've had your ups and downs in life, but one of the things I was telling Tim is like I'm glad that that I'm basically glad that Tim didn't give up on you, and that you didn't give up on life, and just and that right now you're in the UK. Where can you tell me where exactly you're at? Should have asked that
So
before.
we live in Malvern, which they pronounce Malvern.
Mm.
So we live in Malvern, on the Malvern Hills. So it's just like a 10-mile stretch of these hills that just are, it's a national trust. And
Mm-hmm.
so you don't really see businesses or anything. We're considered living like sort of like English countryside, I guess.
Okay.
And so I mean, it looks like something out of Braveheart, or
Mm-hmm.
like or just like you see sheep and cattle like wandering around everywhere, and just people come here from all over the UK to just like walk the hills and stuff, and it's like literally like 5 minutes walking from our house up these steps,
Oh wow.
and so yeah, we originally I moved over in 2024, March 2024, and we moved to I lived in Birmingham. That was our first place
Home of Sabbath.
together. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Home Sabbath, and so that was all right. I mean, it was cool to me because it was like, wow, I'm fucking living in the UK. So
Yeah.
everything was like just like I was blown away by everything,
Sure.
and the differences and everything. But then, soon I found out, like after we lived there for a year, and realized that like, okay, like we want a dog. We want to actually like live in a place like Birmingham's not like really a good place. We wanted a husky,
Oh
and
yeah.
and so it's not a great place for a husky. It's like
Yeah.
you see a lot of cockapoos and English bulldogs, or like French bulldogs, but like you don't see many like large breeds, and
Yeah.
so we looked. We were gonna we wanted to move to Brighton, but that's like 4 hours south of us,
Okay.
from Birmingham, and so the next like coolest thing we thought would be like moving near where her folks live
Mm-hmm.
in Worcester area, and so that's like Worcester is actually like 20 minutes away from Great Malvern,
Okay.
and that's where like that's kind of like the bigger city,
Mm-hmm.
the nearest like bigger city where you've got TK Maxx instead of TJ Maxx, and
TK.
like yeah, Boots Pharmacy.
Oh
There's
yeah.
a Asda, which is a big grocery store. I mean, there's like all these retailers and shit, and
Yeah.
plus like the train goes in there, and you can get the train anywhere from
Okay.
Worcester. So
Oh
yeah.
wow. And
But
I mean, like, how long do you think it took for you to kind of get yourself acclimated to the UK versus the US, which obviously, like, I mean, there's so many differences between this country and the country you're in now.
yeah, but it's weird. I mean, okay, so I went in like thinking like, all right, I've been here on tour like many times, so like
Yeah.
I'm familiar with it. You know, I kind of know what I'm getting into to a certain extent, and like, but then, but then, you know, really, like, really, it was love that like took me here. You know,
Yeah.
so and like brought me here. You know, so like, I just wanted to be like in the same on the same piece of land with my wife now. Or the more challenging things were like getting used to like. Uh, some things take longer. A lot of things take longer than
Yeah.
like it's not as efficient as the US, you know. So like we're like conditioned to just like do things the most in its most simplified way, you know.
Yeah.
And that's not always the case here. You know, there's like you know, people are more, I think, more like accepting of like um other people's um um like taking they're more accepting of like take that it might take more time, like, or they're, you know, like like we're not so like guarded here about like our time, you know,
Right.
whereas to like, you know, as like in the US, you know, it's just like fuck, I'm like you're multitasking like
Yeah.
all day long, you know.
Yeah.
Here it's like you do one thing, and if you happen to like, you know, you're taking the garbage out to the curb or something, and if you see a neighbor, you stop and chat for five minutes or 10 minutes, you
Yeah.
know, just to see how they're doing and catch up. And then, you know, it's like next thing you know, 40 minutes has passed. You've taken the garbage out, you know.
Yeah.
So so things like that, you know, are challenging for me, and I try to. It's you know, it's teaching me patience, which is cool,
Yeah.
but also you know, I have my moments where I just fucking lose it, you know. But it's yeah, but all in all though, like I've never been happier, you know. Like
Yeah.
the things that like I guess the place in my mind, the happiness that I've got, you know, is like much more sustained
Yeah.
happiness that I've ever had, you know. And you know, I feel content, you know.
Yeah. I felt that when I saw you at the Talia Hall. That was the last time we saw each other, and I was just like, man, like you just reminded me of Victor that I first met. You know, it was like very. I mean, it was kind of jarring. I mean, I won't
Yeah,
lie. The last time we saw each other, I mean, I didn't know that you were not in a happy place at that time, but I knew that something was up. So
oh yeah, yeah,
so when seeing you
yeah.
now, I was like, wow, this is who I remember. So I mean, and you should. I mean,
That's awesome.
I'm very proud of you, by the way, that you've
Thank you. Thanks, man.
where you're at now. I know it's not easy, and there's a lot of I have a lot of friends out there who are also dealing with all kinds of either
Yeah,
addictions or
addiction
something. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I mean,
yeah, man. It's fucked. I mean, it's a real thing, man. It is like, and you know, I think like just like if there's anything, like any hope I can give anybody out there is just like, you know, like there is like I'm living proof that there is like definitely like a much better quality of life, like for every single person that wants it, you know.
yeah, yeah,
It doesn't matter who the fuck you are, you know,
yeah,
anybody. Uh, and you know, it doesn't matter what you believe or like where you come from, what your background is. It's like there's help if you reach out for it, you know.
yeah.
And but yeah,
I mean, I remember. Well, I think so. We've gone over the years of talking, not talking. Just gotta. That's how it goes in life. It's just like we kind of weave into each other's timeline. But this was 2016, and
mm,
I had a pretty bad, relationship with alcohol. It was starting to kind of affect well, it was definitely affecting my mental health, my relationships, my job too. It was like
yeah, yeah,
I was in a bad
yeah,
place. And yeah, and I remember just being like, I don't, I need to quit drinking because it's, you know, it's really affecting me. And I'm like, who do I talk to? You know, this is like where you start to like I know there's, you know, people that, you know, you can talk to about these things. And I remember just thinking about you immediately, like, well,
Yeah.
I should hit up Victor. And I remember, do you remember that at all? Like,
I totally remember it, man. And you know, the funny thing, like, I won't get into great detail, but I'll say like that, like at the time, like my like I was not the type of person like that. I was never like just destructive really, or like I wasn't the type of like I wanted to help other people, even though I was like myself, like I was doing the thing that like I was helping others to stop doing, you know?
yeah.
So like it was like but my motives were like coming from a good place, you know? But it didn't, and I had tried so many times. At the time, I was actually going to like, I was going to meetings,
Mm-hmm.
you know, every day, but I was like, you know, I was still like getting fucked up, you know, and
Yeah.
so, but I was trying to keep up appearances, you know, and so, it wasn't until I stopped all that, like, until I actually like, or it wasn't until I like, you know, was faced with life or death or whatever, you know, and
Yeah.
until I realized that like, okay, I got to stop fucking around and like really like take this seriously because I'm going to die. But
Yeah.
I remember when you reached out, and at that time I was in that place where I was like, okay, do what I do, don't, or do what I say, don't do what I do. You know?
Right.
And so, because I knew what to do, I just didn't want to do it.
So yeah, that's funny. Like it's almost like I'm reaching out to, yeah. Well, it kind of reminds me of, do you know the comedian Artie Lang?
I think I've heard of him, but yeah.
Yeah, and he was on Howard Stern, and during I think the last 4 years, 5 years that he was on that show, he was secretly doing heroin, and but then he was also like, he would get on certain people on the show who were like, you know, either like had substance abuse problems or just he was very convincing in telling people like, you know, oh, you need to do this, you need to talk to a therapist, and then meanwhile he's not doing any of that, and he's like so yeah. So it's almost like that, you know, but
Oh, funny, man.
but in a way I think it's kind of, you know, maybe in your mind you're like, oh, like even though like I'm not quite 100%, like maybe I can help myself by helping this guy. I don't know, maybe that was
Right.
maybe there was the
I mean,
spirit.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
good. It was good. It was good that, you know, I had gone to probably like, you know, 600 meetings,
Yeah.
while still in active use, you know, but like, it was good in the sense that like, it did, like this stuff sank into my subconscious,
Yeah.
you know, and so I was able to like, I knew exactly what to do without second nature, you know,
Yeah.
but it was just like having the balls to do it, you know.
Sure.
So I think you were mentioning you had reached out for
Yeah.
help, or
Mhm.
for like you had reached out, and I remember speaking because I was at my parents' house. I was living there,
Okay.
and yeah, and I was still not. I wasn't in the worst like place. It was before it started getting really bad there, but I remember talking, and then I remember like hearing like your progress and that you were actually doing it, which
Yeah.
was cool.
And you told me something that I, to this day, I still use. And I remember, because I remember when we were texting back and forth, he's like, hey, like, you know, what would be really helpful is if you find yourself in a social situation, for example, like just call yourself out. You remember this?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I remember that. I was like, that immediately was like, oh, okay. Like, call yourself out. Yeah, it's like, it's going to sound awkward. You're going to, you know,
Yeah.
you might make people uncomfortable, but trust me, like it'll keep the anxiety level, like it'll kind of puncture it.
Like how did I say, what did I mean exactly? Like, was I saying like call yourself out with like
if I walk in,
to know that,
yeah, like if I walk into a party and instead of keeping it to myself, I'll just be like, hey guys, guess what? I'm not drinking. I'm not supposed to
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
drink.
Yeah.
So just I'm just saying it out loud.
Yeah. The sooner you do that, because we would like, I would make he's like I would walk into a party like that same situation, and there'd be like Coke on the table, or somebody, whatever,
Yeah.
like drinking, and I would immediately, my eyes would just like a magnet,
Yeah.
fucking be like
You walk into a
looking
party.
at that, like the corner of my eye. I'd be looking at that table, thinking, okay, what am I going to say, like, to try to get, or how I'd be fantasizing about it in my head, and so by like keeping by keeping my sobriety a secret, I would be almost like I'd have reservations in my head for doing this, and but yeah, that's great. That you just I just say, like, yeah, you got to be your own cop,
Yeah, basically, where you're just like, okay, like, I'm just gonna say it out. And I think I did it once or twice. Actually, the first time was when my cat passed away, and that was really horrific. And I just remember like just in so much pain inside, and I'm like, and I think I said something like, I would really like a drink right now, but I know that's not a good thing, so I'm not gonna have a drink. It was just like,
yeah.
And then the other time was at a wedding. It was like, and this was like maybe 4 or 5 months where I just stopped drinking. And the other thing that I always think about too is like, there was a time when I didn't need anything to like make, hanging out or having fun, enhancing anything. Like I didn't need any of that, It's like, because obviously when we were coming up, like, I mean, I know we were all experimenting and messing with stuff, but in general, like, we were still like not of drinking age, or I don't know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't like. I definitely like don't regret going through any of that, and like experiencing everything that I've experienced. Like maybe it could have been a little safer, but it got me to where I'm at right now, which is good.
No, I mean, you look beautiful. I mean, I've yet to meet your wife, but shout out to you.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Fiona. Yeah.
Fiona. Okay. Hi, Fiona. And I'm glad that you're, I mean, especially with what our country is going through right now. That must have been a trip to be like being, the back and forth between the UK and the US, because obviously wrapped up the Captain Jazz 50th anniversary tour. I'm just kidding. Was it more like the 30th anniversary tour? Or?
Oh yeah. I mean, we're definitely we're like, how many more of these we can do every 7 years? But
yeah.
But I don't know. It was definitely it was great, But yeah, we just ended. We did the South America leg, and that was the last of them. I think. Yeah, so.
I was watching the videos, just like fan footage, and I was just like, I mean, doesn't surprise me, but at the same time, like I saw that kind of energy at Talia Hall, just like. It seems like not only is it just us old folks who remember, but it's also like the offspring of those old guys.
Yeah.
I mean, it seemed like it was kind of 50-50, right? It was like a lot of.
Man, I mean, yeah. The first show we headlined was in London, when we got back together for this round of shows, and that was like, I think our. Logan, our tour manager, said like 90% of the attendance was like 25 and under or something, which is crazy. Yeah, it was like a big chunk of the people there, and I think it was sold out. So it was like it was all kids. Yeah.
That's great. And it's funny because so obviously that, you know, growing up at the time, like, you know, for us, you know, Cap and Jazz and what you guys were doing, you know, it was like our thing. So it didn't feel like, you know, not necessarily it doesn't belong to anyone else but us Wheelingers.
Right.
But it was, you know, it was just like, this is, you know, nobody was trying to make it at that time. Like that was, I think that was the beauty of how it all started, was like, it was never about like, oh, we're gonna, you know, because you had the metal bands who were like, oh, we got to play the, you know, the Thirsty Whale, or, you know, try to get our demo tapes to the radio stations so they could play it on VVX or whatever.
Dirty Nellies, yeah.
And you play at Nelly's, and there was none of that with you guys. And then, but I think it was maybe a year or two after you guys split up. It was like '97. I was in California with my band V Reverse, and we were doing a month-long tour. And I remember somebody asking us where we were from, and I said, "Oh, you know, we're from Chicago." And he's like, "Oh, that's where Cap and Jazz is from." I remember that. I was like, "Whoa, how do you know about those guys?"
Yeah. That was in '97.
Yeah.
Was it? Wow.
Yeah. So it was what, a couple years, maybe a year or two after you guys split up.
We broke up.
Yeah. So it was like, okay. So I mean, that was kind of my first indicator that, you know, this was going to be bigger than any of you guys. Like, so. But.
Wow. Yeah, dude. I mean, it is fucking wild. Last night, I played.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. So where'd you play? So
I played in Worcester,
okay.
town like 25 minutes from here, and it was my first show headlining, as well as like trying to like basically start from the ground up, you know, and just like try to like establish something, you know, in this area that some, like my wife said, she grew up in this area, and she said that like good bands do come through. Like there's some cool shows once in a while. Like this band TTNG. They're have you heard of them?
I've heard of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're like you know, pretty widely known math rock emo outfit. You know, from like one guy lives in London now, and then the other guy lives in Brighton, and then the other one in Oxford. And I think they're getting back together, but. And then the other band is Pennines. They were the band. They were the singer Hank, his band before TTNG. Well. I'm actually playing with them in March in Norwich, which is exciting. And so, but anyway, yeah, it was just like I had no idea what to expect, and it was a total DIY show. I thought, like, how can I connect with people here? And like, you know, I talked to a few people and like that I know, and that were like, you know, just try doing a DIY show somewhere or whatever, you know. And
Yeah.
I've never put on a show in my life, you know, or like tried to like actually organize it and stuff. And
Yeah. Yeah. It's
last
like
night, holy shit, man, it was a lot of work, but it was so worth it. It was really cool. You know,
so you
not
put the show together? Is that what you're saying? So so you
yeah.
set up the
Me and Fee, yeah, Fee
okay.
and I, we just like, you know, we took care of like everything, like basically I went into this record store in Worcester and asked if if I could play, and I was thinking like, oh, I'll do a free show there or something, just to like,
Yeah.
you know, try to get people to come and watch. And he's like, oh yeah, you can, no problem, we do shows, you know. And he's like, you can basically just like set up, and the only thing is you're going to need to like, you know, we'll make a poster if you want, you know, but you know, you'll need to take care of the door. You'll be in charge of the door, and like,
Yeah.
and then like if you want another band to open or whatever, you know, it's all like on you basically, you know.
Okay.
So he
So,
basically just gave us the space to do it, you
yeah.
know. And so so we just, you know, arranged everything, and had Natalie Evans come out from London. Very, very talented, multi-talented. She plays the harp and guitar and sings, and she agreed to do it. And she drove out last night, which is like 2.5 hour drive from London.
Didn't feel the cold, didn't dream of anywhere else. I knew that it was good and I'd wanna go back. Though we live so many miles away, I still wanna go back. I would walk around the coast all day, looking for that place.
And it was cool, man. It was our first time like doing anything.
Oh wow.
And it was it was pretty cool for nobody really knowing who we were, you know. And there were a couple people that recognized, you know. There was one guy that had like a Cap'n Jazz vinyl and Owls
Okay.
vinyl and something else for me to sign, and then you know, a couple of other people that I connected with that live in the surrounding area in Melbourne, actually. So
Okay.
that are like fans of some of the bands that we've, you know, have played in, which it was awesome. Yeah. So it was a success, you know.
That's really cool. Yeah. So I mean, and you know, as you're saying, you've never you've never set up a show before. So this was kind of like, yeah, that's cool. I mean, that's
Yeah.
I think everybody should at least. I mean, I've definitely set up my own shows in the past, and it's a lot of work. Yeah, you know, and then of
Yeah,
course,
respect, man.
and then you have to play the thing.
Yeah. It was a lot. Like I totally like look at like, you know, look at it in a different light now.
Yeah.
Like as far as like DIY shows go, and yeah, I guess promoters, you know, they got their hands full.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, yeah, exactly. So that's cool. So yeah, that's I guess this is the beginning of bridging the worlds of you and where you're living at, and
Yeah.
I mean,
first hometown show here.
okay.
So, yeah, I actually played Birmingham. Somebody randomly asked me like I don't know, not last. It was last week. They asked me if I wanted to, like, it was a last minute thing, if I wanted to open up for a band called Crywank. And they're from like Manchester, I think.
And I know apathy and I know acceptance and a lack of motivation is what they want. I have beliefs and I can wear them on my sleeve, but I will do nothing about them. Just stay in and look at screens on this life. Spend basking in the blue light. change. In the end, I feel ashamed. Although I can explain, I do not act on what I say. A waste of time is hearing what is on my mind. Active, trapped inside, stationary body. Down, down, down and down. I feel a constant sense of waiting.
And so I agree. I was like, yeah, fuck it, and I drove to Birmingham, which is an hour away from us here. So,
Okay.
and it went off really well. It was really great. It was almost a sold out show. And,
Okay. Okay.
people, it was like my first show on UK, turf after like 8 years of not playing solo. So,
Yeah.
but. Yeah, so that was nice, and that was like a warm up to last night, which was
Yeah,
cool.
that's awesome. And you're playing all your so you were telling me that you're working on a new record or working on
I
something.
am. Yeah, I actually shout out to Mike Kinsella because he was the one that like sort of lit a match under my ass to get me like moving on this because I didn't know if I was ready to do it or not, but he threw out the suggestion. He kind of planted the seed on Captain Jazz Tour. Like he was like, if we were talking about the house, the American Football House, and I was just telling him how rad it was that they bought it, and with people like and made it into an Airbnb, and and he's like, yeah, we actually do like artist residencies there and stuff, and he's like, you and Fee should come over and like spend a week, like just working on an album or writing a new solo album or something, and it didn't even like occur to me that like that was like appealing, until like maybe like a week afterwards, and he planted the seed, and it started thinking about it more, and then I was like, yeah, this could really work because I was coming home for Christmas anyway.
Yeah.
And so we set it up, and so I did Christmas at my mom's this past Christmas, and then we went. Fee and I went to Urbana, and we spent 8 days there, and I got about 6 songs in to this album, which is cool, and I recently, I just brought some recording gear down there and like demoed some stuff, and so I'm excited to just keep working on that here now.
Yeah, I mean, it's been an interest of us, this American Football House being bought, and it's almost like that famous studio Headley Grange, where Zeppelin recorded Genesis, but it was like a mansion or like a manor out in the boonies, but bands would set up and they'd have a mobile truck set up to record. I think
I was like totally the first night we were there for like 2 hours, and then all of a sudden saw a car like in front, just like it was dark, roll up slowly, and then like somebody getting out and like taking a picture, of the house. And so we were just like, okay, whatever, and like, and just some random person. And then the next day, I think we saw like cars throughout the day, like come by. It was like, and then after like the second or third one, it was like, you know what, I'm gonna go out and fuck with them, And so I went out and just like, I was like yelling shit at him.
Get out of here. We don't want any. Hey.
And then we were like, and then I was like, hey, come on in. You want to see inside, or you want to have a cup of tea? And like,
like, no, we just want to take our picture right here. Boom. I'm out of here.
It was hilarious. Yeah, I invited them in. It was really funny. I invited these two in. They came in. They were just like, whoa, like looking around, like, oh, can I take a picture of that? It was like a framed picture of Chris Strong's photo of the room.
Yeah.
And so and it's hanging up like by the stairway, and he's just like, oh, can I take a picture? And so they're standing there, both taking pictures of that. And then afterwards, I was like, because that's what you do in England. You invite people in for tea.
Yeah.
That's like it's just like a thing. And so then I was like, wow. And then I realized, like, I don't think these kids don't want anything to do with us. They just want to see the fucking place. Because like now it was like they were like thinking, I could read like the expressions on their faces. They were like trying to be polite, but like also thinking like, all right, what do I say to get out of here?
And they didn't know who you were. You didn't say, hey, I'm Victor Villarreal.
Oh, hell no. Yeah. And they just wanted to see the American football house, and but it was cool. There was like a couple people that like that recognized me, but like, and that were cool, like really like fun to talk to and stuff. But the majority of them, I mean, they should fucking open it. If it doesn't do well as an Airbnb, they should open up a museum, because that place, like, it's like, yeah, it's definitely a thing,
Yeah, no, definitely. Oh, before I further, you got to meet this guy. This is Mochi.
Mochi.
There you go.
Oh, big yawn.
He's about to go outside, dude. It is super cold right now out there. Yeah, I don't know what the temperature is over in the UK, but
foggy and I don't know if you could see outside.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, very mysterious looking right now.
Very British, man. This is like even the outdoors look so yeah, I could see like the fog there.
Yeah.
Oh. It's like 9 degrees right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't get like, we had snow one night. It was like kind of like a blizzard.
Yeah.
But not what we would consider a blizzard. In the US, it's more like because they don't really salt the roads as much here, or like it's not. They don't have like, they're not as prepared as like Chicago is for winter. So like, so it snows. It's kind of like Texas in the sense where like if it snows like 3 inches, like everything shuts down and people stay home, and so we kind of got snowed in for like a day, and then like it all melted, and
everything backed up.
So yeah,
that's exactly. So when you were in Chicago, you and I wanted to ask you about the Yoko exhibit.
Oh yeah, dude, that was awesome.
Yeah, what was your? Because I know Tim told me some stuff. Yeah, but I'm curious what your take was on it.
I mean, I had no idea what I was walking into. Like, to be honest, I'd never seen her work before, or like I didn't know anything about it. And so I just knew that like a lot of people were psyched about it, and that we had the day off, to really not do anything, and so we wanted to do something cool, and so we went in, and you know, it was it was really cool because like it was not it was I was thinking like paintings, like weird, like bizarre, like paintings. You know, I was
Yeah.
going to see more of that, but it was mostly it was just like um, these. It was all like mostly conceptual or something. I
Yeah.
don't know. Like directives, you know, that she was giving people
Yeah. Like
to like
instructional art or poems.
instructional. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
instructional. Yeah, which I read. I just stopped and started reading the wall, and it was like, man, I got hooked like immediately because I was like I was just like, this is so like far fetched, and then I kept reading it, and it didn't stop. You know, it was like, you know, put this black bag over somebody on a stage, and you know, or like start cutting a piece of clothing off of somebody while they're sitting on stage, and then keep cutting or whatever,
Yeah.
and one was like blindfold somebody on stage, release a snake in the audience, or no, shut off the lights
Yeah.
and like release a snake, you know, and then my favorite one started my favorite one was like the very first line was by having a baby, and then like and then it said some other like it just went into great detail after that about something else. But we bought the book.
Oh, you got a
Uh,
grape. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, I forgot. I
Oh,
already forgot
grapefruit.
what it was. Grapefruit.
Yeah.
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 Yellow book.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like small and it's got all the instructional poems and yeah.
Yeah. It was perfect because it like it was the perfect thing I needed to like put myself um in this like mindset for like writing, for going to the American Football House and like just
Oh,
like
okay.
writing, you know? So it was like it was a really good way to like prime my like creative you know engine, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Uh
Mm-hmm.
and so it was really cool. What was your favorite? What was your favorite exhibit? I mean, I think mine was like the glass, like making the shards of glass
Oh,
into
the men
something.
piece. Yeah, the men
Yeah,
piece. That was cool.
or yeah.
I love the well, obviously there's my all-time favorite, the bag piece,
Oh, right, right.
mainly because, well, you know, the whole idea of getting in a bag is that nobody can see what you look like. All they're hearing
Mm,
is your voice, so you're being able to have like complete total communication with whoever you're talking to because
yeah,
they're not seeing, you know, they're not seeing the clothes or your hair or whatever, or, you know, if you have bad teeth.
right.
It's just like this is me.
Yeah.
And of course the hammer and nail piece,
Oh, right,
you
right.
know, like
Yeah, that was
like
cool.
the interactive stuff. What was it, the boat, the immigrant room.
Yeah, that blue room that you could write all over, or just like
It's kind of like Alan Cooper's
paint on the
place.
walls.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So that
yeah. It
brought.
was a similar vibe.
And the one piece I saw you guys interacting with, which we didn't, was the canvas with the hole.
Oh, the canvas with the
Yeah, that's
hole.
kind of
Oh,
like,
yeah.
because I think there's a
Oh, yeah,
picture of
yeah,
you
yeah.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That was like one of the first things. Like when you walk in,
Yeah.
you put your arm through, and it was like instructions to like one stand on one side, and then put your arm through, and then like lock a hand or grab hands with the other person or something on the
Yeah.
other side, and
Yeah.
um, that was interesting.
Yeah, no, I
Um,
saw you guys playing, which we, for some reason, well, we're gonna go back before it ends to do another run, but and
oh,
then
cool.
the two other pieces that we really liked when we walked in was the wish tree, you
A
know,
wish tree.
where you wrote on a index card like a wish, and then you tied it up to the
Oh,
tree.
I didn't see that one. Was that when you first come in? Was it to your left?
So before you go into to the gallery, there's like, yeah, it's there, and there's the big picture of Yoko.
Oh, okay, okay.
There's like
Yeah,
there was like a couple like fake trees, or I don't know, I think
yeah.
they were real trees, but uh, and then
Oh, yeah.
as you're leaving the exhibit, there's another like called I think my mommy is beautiful.
Ooh.
And
Okay.
so, and those are, I mean, as simple as they sound, they were very like, and this kind of goes into Yoko's thing, or the whole unfinished music series, unfinished, like that whole idea that she talks about in her work is like things are unfinished. Like she kind of leaves it up to you to finish it up, or,
Ooh.
and the my mommy's beautiful one that was heavy. Like because I had to think about what to write about my mom.
Wow.
And
Man, I can't believe I missed those two. I mean, there were. I feel like I could have easily gone back,
Yeah,
because like I just like went in and just like on autopilot and just sort of like went to whatever I felt drawn to.
yeah,
I didn't really like see it like in order or whatever like was first and second and
sure,
third. So I just sort of floated when I was in there, but it would be cool to go. I wish I could go back and see it all.
yeah.
I did the. Did you see that one where she was like filmed, and people were coming up and cutting clothing?
Oh yeah, the cut piece. Yeah,
How uncomfortable she looked before the video, like
yeah,
cut stopped. Where
yeah,
it was like she was just like because some guy like came up or whatever, and he just like cut her blouse off or whatever,
yeah.
and like tried to cut her bra off and like, but it was she was like enduring this this thing
Yeah.
which was that was intense.
Yeah, no, that's a heavy. I mean, when you think about it, like one of those like really like early like feminist type art pieces that without even being calling out this is feminism, but it's a woman, yeah, who's getting almost violated,
Yeah.
and everybody is an active participant, and then she's just the I don't know, we call her victim, but she's the subject.
Right.
She's losing bits of her clothes as the piece goes. Yeah, no, that one's intense. I mean, and the thing is, they're so. What I love about her stuff is just how quietly intense all that stuff is, because it's not like there's no like loud colors. There's nothing that's like screaming at you. It's like it's just very simple and subtle and.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. I really enjoyed it.
No, yeah, and of course, the video that we did for that was like trying to kind of capture that, because there is also playfulness.
Yeah.
That I.
Yeah, yeah.
you
Yeah,
know.
that video was awesome. I watched most of it, I think, and but it was cool. You guys did a really really great job of just like like the one what was it, something it was like a piece or it's something, I forgot how it was worded, but it was like something for you to stand on or whatever.
Oh, the step or the painting, stepping on painting piece or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yeah, it was like on the ground. The grapefruit one was cool. Like there was that one room where it's like the circle with two chairs. I don't know if you remember that.
Well, let's see. Did I see it?
I don't know
So
if
there were
you,
two shares. I remember there was like something we walked through. It was like I don't know. I mean, you just walk through and there was like this stuff like cut out on the ceiling,
oh yeah, like
and there was
that.
like this little shrine thing, which looked like a shrine of some sort of statue, and yeah, it was it's just a really. I don't know if I'll have to watch your video. This room with the chairs, was that in the video? Or?
Yeah,
Oh, it was, yeah. I'll have to check it out again.
because there was two guys that were sitting opposite from each other, and I guess in that room on the weekends and certain evenings there'll be people that are doing some of the instructional grapefruit stuff, and
Oh
So
wow.
so what we shot was the mirror piece where you have somebody on the other end, and basically you guys are just, you're doing what the other person is doing, like a mirror kind of thing. So
Oh yeah.
so that was
Uh,
hypnotic to look at, because you're like, oh yeah, these guys could just keep going on and on. And but the men piece, I don't know, like what the, like how people were getting into it, but and I couldn't use a lot of it because there was a kid right across from us, and I didn't want to put him on camera. But he was having a fit when he
really?
during the men piece, because obviously, like, for those who don't, for the audience, yeah, it's like basically shards of ceramic and like pots and glasses or whatever. And you either used glue or rope or tape to
Rope. Yeah.
put it all together, and then put it on display. And this kid across from me was trying to, like, actually mend the piece or whatever, the cup, and was getting frustrated.
Like he couldn't find like he was trying to like mend it back together.
Yeah.
Oh God.
And he was like, oh, I can't do it.
Like 300 pieces there, or like 400 pieces of shards of
Yeah.
ceramic laying on the table to work with.
Yeah.
Like, he's just gonna
Yeah, he just
that'd be awesome.
yeah, he just didn't want, he couldn't figure it out, or just didn't want, I was ready to tell him, hey kid, like, I think you're getting this wrong, man. You just let it go. Like,
Yeah.
but that was the funniest moment. I was like, oh man, okay. But yeah, I definitely came out of there like with a smile.
Yeah.
So what do you guys have? What are you guys up to today? You and
Today, I'm unloading everything from the show last night, and then probably set up, like, I'll get my setup, like my music stuff set up, and then we'll do like maybe some music and art a little
wow.
later, and then possibly have our neighbors come over. They're really like this whole row of houses. We live on a terrace basically, so which is just like this row of semi-detached houses, two at a time, and it was like built in the 1800s.
Oh wow.
For the miners that were mining on the hills here, and so for the workers, and so like the structure and everything is the same. Like we actually, a lot of it is like has been preserved, so there aren't major like renovations done to anything in this place except for like it's livable. Like there's like the bathroom was redone, of course, and some of the kitchen, but a lot of things are still like it's naturally a lot of places here are radiators, no forced air, so
Okay.
we have to like open the windows in the morning for 15 minutes and at night for 15 minutes so we don't get mold, and then in the bathroom there's no bathroom fan or anything, so you have to open the window when you take the shower, and like you know, and things like a lot of maintenance, you know, type stuff you got to keep on top of. But it is like once you adapt to it, it's just like it's beautiful. We are very, very blessed to be
Yeah.
here. So
And you got like, I mean, that's, and yet you're living in a place with a lot of history, which,
yeah,
you know, it's almost like you're kind of maintaining that, you know, the conditions there to live. And yeah, it's almost like
yeah,
it's almost like your home needs like, yeah, it's like you have to like do a little adjusting throughout the, throughout the day or whatever.
30 miles away from Robert Plant. So we're
Oh,
just a hop, skip, and a jump if we need to pop in and
have a
grab
cuppa.
have a cuppa.
Have a cuppa or you know, oh yeah, no, I mean you're, yeah, like yeah, exactly, you're kind of in the land of Zeppelin, and or maybe not exactly, but I mean that obviously like,
No, I mean, there's some people on the street that I met that have stories, like interesting stories. One was telling me, like, oh yeah, he like, he you know, because I was like, the hills, Malvern Hills, like
yeah,
basically are the closest that I can think of hills that are closest to where I don't know where he lives. So I don't know if like Malvern Hills had anything to do with like some of the like where he was able to draw inspiration. And then
yeah,
he's one of the people that I met. They said, quick story, and then I got to go pee. But
yeah,
he said there's like because Wales, when you get to the top of the Malverns, you can see if you look west, you can see Wales.
okay,
It's like 50 miles away, and on a clear day or whatever, you could see an area or a place called Bron Stump or
oh
Bron or whatever. Yeah, Bron.
yeah,
And so there's that song Bron Stomp. I think that's where like the title came from. It was a
yeah,
place in Wales, um, but um, but yeah, like it's. I mean, Angel. I'm telling everybody that I know. I can't like. I would just fucking love it if you came to visit. And I mean, there's
yeah,
like we actually share uh, or this building is like we're on one side, and then we share a wall with our neighbors, nice neighbors that rent out an Airbnb
okay,
next door,
okay,
um, and I just like yeah, Sammy was here when we were on Captain Jazz tour.
oh
You
nice,
know, I brought him here to like to take a walk on the hills and stuff, and he really enjoyed it. So
awesome,
but it's cool seeing like you know people that I know and grew up with, experiencing it, for the first time because it's magical, man.
I
Yeah.
okay, well, I'll let you go real quick, but we are talking about going next year because the Bowie Museum is opening.
Oh
Or
wow.
I'm sorry, they're opening Bowie's childhood home for the pop
Oh
like
okay.
next year, and we love Bowie.
Yeah.
And plus,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think his exhibit is up here or is open in the UK. The David Bowie is.
Nice. Is
So
that in London or?
I think so at the
Okay.
VA or VNA Museum,
Yeah,
which
dude. Yeah, you got to come up here and like
okay,
come up for a few days or like a week or something, like however long you guys are coming for.
yeah,
Like, definitely block out some days to like spend up here. I mean, it's a great place to like to just get in touch with your like creative diver. I mean, it really, um, yeah, it's
I'll have to see if there's any like there's those spots in England that have like energy, like heavy energy
yeah. Actually,
spots.
this is crazy. That's like this area, like along the Malvins, are what are called. I learned about ley lines.
Okay.
You know what a ley line
No,
is?
no.
I don't know. I guess it's like a direct line that goes um, from one point to another. That like I guess it's been known to like to attract energy,
Yeah.
and there have been like UFO sightings and stuff like that. Like the pyramids have ley lines across them,
Oh, okay.
and so the Malvern Hills, we actually live on the hills, and yeah, like along the summit from north to south
Yeah.
is one ley line that like runs along it, and yeah, it's great, man.
Yeah.
It's a nice place.
Cool. Well, we'll be in touch because I definitely wanna make that happen and get to be in your neck of the woods. So anyway, thanks for joining me. I love you, Victor.
Yeah, I love you too, brother.
And yeah, give my best to everyone, and I'll let you know when this comes up.
All right, yeah, please do.
All right.
Well, yeah,
Any-
and say goodbye to your pets and your wife, right?
Yes.
What was her name again?
Oh, Athena.
Athena. Yeah. Okay.
All right, well,
Say goodbye
thank
to
you.
Athena.
And
All
say
right,
goodbye. And my best to Fee as well.
All right. Cool.
All right. All right. I'll talk to you.